Welcome, everybody. Good morning. It's morning on my side. Welcome to a new episode of the mini Zoom series, Confessions of a Facilitator, with facilitators and their favorite tools. And for those of you who don't know what we are speaking about here, which tools are we talking about? The tools of access consciousness. You know, this huge box of tools. You pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, how many you want, and you change your life just by magic. On one condition, that you choose. And today I have the honor, the pleasure, the surprise to invite Samantha Lewis. Oh, she just disappeared. To this series. And Samantha Lewis is back just by magic. That's the wonder of this mini Zoom series. We never know what happens, but we love it, right? So, Samantha, today, 2 questions for you. 1, who are you? And 2, what is your favorite tool? And then there is a rule we have to play by. We have fun. Okay? Whatever happens,
awesome.
We have fun.
Awesome. Thank you. Yay. I love your earphones. I love your earphones, Selena.
I look sexy, right? I look
sexy. Very. And I love your unicorn in the background. It's so gorgeous.
I know.
It's all lit. And it's all lit up and so beautiful. Well, let me tell you a little bit about me. I am Samantha Lewis. I'm a certified access consciousness facilitator and being a facilitator. My hometown is in South Africa, but I'm not South African. I'm an infinite being. Can you believe that?
I was like, that's totally new information for me.
And it's so interesting because we really often define ourselves by where we live and where we come from and all of those things. But how many conclusions and judgments do we have to include all of that within us to be that? So my favorite tool is, who am I today and what grand and glorious adventure am I going to have today?
Wow. Oh, we were just speaking that in the beginning of this interview, we just had, this technical stuff. Are you coming? Where are you coming on? And I read, I have to drop the kids in school. This is what I read. And I was like, okay, cool. She's dropping the kids in school. But then I reread the message because Samantha told me, no, it's not about my kids. And then I looked and I said, you're going to a school and to give sessions. So what is that for a grand, glorious adventure that you and your body are going to live, and all the bodies who get in touch with you? How did they get so lucky?
It's amazing because, the access bars are amazing for kids that have difficulty with learning, that are different, that are unique. And I've been exploring that with a couple of schools here in South Africa. And today I start the first round of sessions with some teachers and some pupils in school. So I'm really, really excited about that. And just to see what it can contribute and how much change that can bring, and how much more people are then able to choose from receiving access in schools. I'm really excited about it.
This is, this strikes a very sensitive chord in me, because ever since I learned bars, to me it was like, what would it take to have bars in schools? And I have to admit, I approached the school where my kids are. I have 3 boys, and there's absolutely no opening. And I remember on Christmas market, Jeremy, who gives bars, like, do you want bars? I'll give you the bars. I'll give you the bars, but give me the money. Give me the money. He opened the stand and nobody approached him. And he was so disappointed. And then I said, okay, cool. So how can you use this into your advantage? How special are you that those people around you don't even dare come next to you? You are so bright and beautiful. And then I said, what would it take to have this in schools? What would it take to have it, like, instead of running around in the, I mean, not instead, but next to running around in the yard, to sit down and put some fingers on the head. So, is this going to be one of your adventures today?
It is one of my adventures today.
And have you asked for
one
it?
of many. Because, you know, I don't always know what's going to show up in the day. I have no point of view of like what's going to show up. There are some scheduled things and there are some things that just pop up and get created. And that's the joy of just being and making choices in every day, making a different choice and asking questions all the time. What else can I add? And who am I being and what can I contribute to the planet, to the people around me, to all the creations in the world that have people and choosing and desiring more to make a difference.
I have a question. Have you always been like this? Have you always thought about the planet and about the big grand adventure that every day can be? Because I remember, not my case. My case was I wake up and I need to know exactly what's going to be. Otherwise, I'm not happy.
You ask that question. That's such an awesome question, Selena, because yes, I always did want to have things be better. You know, I wanted everything to be better all the time. But what's different between then and now is then I wanted everything to be better, which required so many things to be wrong. Now I look at it and go, okay, so can I contribute here? What if there was nothing wrong and what if there was nothing right? And what if, me just being me is already a contribution? And it's changed it dynamically so much for me just by being that, and that's where that adventure comes in. Because if you constantly look to make something better because something's wrong, is it truly an adventure? No, it's a lot of hard work.
You should see see the hairs on my back when you say doing things, willing to improve things and make them better because they were wrong. Yeah. This is a space I've been functioning. I still am sometimes. It's not your case, nobody's case, it's only my case. But then I'm asking myself how much of me is still in there, how much of me is actually present, and how much am I my mom's daughter, my husband's wife, my kid's mom, and so for people who are watching this and are listening and saying, what, a contribution? Who, me, a contribution? To what? Adventure and contribution. What would you tell them, Samantha?
Well, I would say, even if you don't think you're a contribution, the very fact that you think that means you already are a contribution. Because it's mostly those of us who don't think we are that actually are, and that comes from being a person that is constantly concerned for other people, really caring for other people, really caring about what goes on in the world, and constantly asking what can be different here, and what can I, many people say, what can I do today to make things different or make my life different? And that, if you have that in your awareness, you're already asking for something different to come into the world, to be different and to show up in the world. And that is already a contribution, because it's the energy of that contributes to something changing. So yeah, that's what I would say.
I just turned back to when you're thinking you're not a contribution, it's then where you are. And then I'm like, okay, so what is contribution actually? What am I not seeing here? What am I missing here? What is contribution, Samantha?
It's many things, and I'm not sure if we have much time to chat about this here. But really, the essence of the contribution, and it's so interesting because there was the contribution class this weekend with Gary and Dane in Venice. And
Gary
just
and
the
Dane,
energy.
The founder and co-founder of Access Consciousness.
Access Consciousness. Yes. And just the energy of that class and the contribution, it was by being what it is, and it's continuing to be, because it really is the energy you be that is a contribution. It's not what you get for doing something. It's what you be and what you're willing to receive and give, and the energy of that.
It's not what you get for giving something. It's what you be and gift and receive and be that.
Yes.
A meme. It's very interesting what you said, and thank you for saying that, because I wasn't in the contribution class, and yet I was.
Yeah, I wasn't either, and yet I was. And there was that energy of just amazing.
Yeah,
that showed up for that. Yeah.
And that is that. Would it be to say that actually everything can contribute to you the moment you are willing to receive it?
Yes.
Even the mess in our lives?
Yes.
Okay.
Anything you resist, you cannot receive from.
Again?
Anything you resist, you cannot receive from.
I think my voice is going down. Everything I'm resisting, I cannot receive from. Peeps, wow. If this is something to start your morning with, ask yourselves, so what am I resisting that I'm not willing to receive from?
Can I add something more to that?
Oh, yes, please. Oh, yes, please. Oh, yes, do.
So what are you resisting that if you would choose to receive could change and contribute to your life so dynamically that it would create a completely different reality?
You should see my body going like, I'm going to disappear from the camera. Can you please repeat that?
What is it that you're not willing to receive that if you would choose to receive it? Sorry, I'll change it because now I can't remember the exact, you know how our brains go like, I'll go back. Give me 1 second. I've got it. So what is it that you're resisting that if you would choose to receive it could contribute to you and change your reality totally?
Do I have to give an answer to that?
No.
Thank you.
It's like an energy. It's this energy of, and I know the question wasn't exactly the same because it's an energy that you just perceive and ask. And every question you ask doesn't always require an answer. It's the energy that shows up that you can follow and allow to contribute to you. And the universe gets to hear these questions too and is dying to contribute to us.
Wow.
Just by hearing the questions that we have and asking for contribution.
The universe is dying to contribute to us. This is so beautiful. Wow. Thank you so much, Samantha. But before we say goodbye, I know we are tight on the time here, and I so much appreciate that we could do this. And that it's like wow. I'm going to stay with the question, what am I resisting? Because over the weekend, I had a 3-day body class. I went into a 3-day body class and I realized how much I'm still resisting from other people and from myself. So thank you for this question. I'm going to play with it for the rest of the week.
Thank you, Selena. And thank you for doing these. That's so amazing. And what a contribution you are. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for the invitation.
And then if people want to find you, Samantha, if they want to stay in contact with you and stalk you, obsessively look for you, where do they find you?
They can find me on Facebook, Samantha Lewis. I have a public profile and a business profile. And they can email me, samantha@samanthalewiss.co.za, or they can pop onto my website at samanthalewiss.co.za.
I'm going to put everything somewhere in the presentation of this video when it's done. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And what a contribution.
Thank you.
And peeps, until next time, all of life comes to us with joy and
glory.
glory. Mwah.